very slowly in Canada.
Having given birth to a marvelous little Canadian, does that affect your legal status here at all?
It does not, no, because the United States still intends to extradite me. They're still seeking my extradition, and in fact, after I had my son on the news, Colonel Robert McGuinness, the right-hand man to George Bush, basically went on the news saying that they wanted to bring me back, and that I couldn't outrun the long arm of the U.S. law, if I remember correctly, was his quote on the news. I mean, these people know who I am, and they're actually still want to extradite me, despite the fact that I have a son. But that does not surprise me, because America's not about compassion. They care about money and greed and oppressing people, and that's what this is all about. The drug war is a war on higher consciousness, a war on plants, a war on women, and it's got to stop. It's got to come to an end. So, I mean, it's good to be here, and I feel empowered to have a chance to open the doorway so that people can come here and have a safe haven and live in peace. And it is important, you know. And there's other people, there's other refugees trying to get refugee status too, and hopefully one of us will do it, you know.
Yeah. I remember very clearly the day when you first came to Canada, and a mutual friend of ours in LA had given you my name and number. And I remember getting phone calls from you when you were on the other side of the border, and I remember you arriving like a frightened puppy that had been kicked out of his home on my back door, and you have done so much since you've been here and been such a precious friend, and I'm so glad that you're here, girl, instead of rotting away in a cage.
Thanks. Yeah, you've been an amazing, just beautiful goddess in my life, and just totally like empowering for me as a friend too. And like, I was so lucky just to have you, because I didn't know anyone in Canada when I got here, and I knew that you had dated Todd. I knew that you had the Compassion Club, that I could trust you, and it was just so good to have you as a friend. And then you really did help me so much, you know. Like, I'm just really I love you so much.
You too, sweetie.
Thank you.
So we're going to take a look upstairs in Urban Shaman at the fabulous shop that Renee has created upstairs, and you can take a look at the incredible products that she has up there. There's an amazing amount of information and education that is happening in an extremely innovative shop. How long has the Urban Shaman been running for?
Oh, the Urban Shaman for about 2 years now. 1
Yeah.
year in another location, but I really love being in this location because I'm
Yeah.
amongst a whole bunch of activists, and it's just empowering and amazing to be here. I love it.
Yeah. And you have people coming through every day asking you all kinds of questions.
I do, yes. But, it's lots of conversing. I do.
Yeah.
It's great.
And Shiva helps you?
And Shiva, yes, I have lovely people helping me in the shop, actually, and I spend a lot of time doing the background part of the business. So.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
And I believe that we're ready with the clip. So here you all go. We're here in the Urban Shaman with Renee Boje. Hi, Renee. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming.
So take me back to the beginning. Tell me where the original concept for the Urban Shaman came from.
Okay. I think that the original concept came from myself and my experience with entheobotanicals, which are plants and herbs that help one commune with the divine within. And so really my experiences with ingesting mushrooms when I was younger, and just really communicating with my divine higher self, and then the transformations I experienced through that and the healings that I experienced. Anything from the way that I was eating and changing my eating habits to childhood issues, you know, all kinds of things can be worked out, I think, when one ingests spirit medicines. So I really believed in them, I studied them, and I saw that there was a need for a shop like this in Vancouver and allowing people access to spirit medicines. So that's what really motivated me to open the Urban Shaman.
So tell me what it is that you distribute here out of the Urban Shaman.
We have a variety of entheobotanical herbs and plants and seeds from all over the world and from different cultures that have been used for centuries for a variety of different purposes, from aphrodisiacs to stimulating herbs to relaxing herbs to shamanic herbs, which are used for divination or spirit quests. Legal, everything that we sell is legal, so we have legal hallucinogens. We have things like ayahuasca, but really we believe in harm reduction and really teaching people and educating people about the plants and herbs we have here. So something like ayahuasca, that's done, you know, in ceremony traditionally in South America with a shaman leading the ceremony. Some of these plants and herbs, it's important to, I believe, to do them if one chooses to ingest them, to think about this ceremonial aspect of how they are taken traditionally. A shaman holds the space for you, make sure you're okay during the experience, make sure you have water, you know, sing songs that, you know, keep you in a really peaceful place. All these things are important to think about. So some of the things are better done, you know, with a shaman. Some of the things that we offer here, like herbal ecstasy, is a great alternative to ecstasy, you know, putting drugs in your body, because it's a more balanced way of ingesting.
Many of these plant-based products that you are distributing here have roots with traditional use in tribal cultures. They're used as religious sacraments. How do you feel about modern culture here in North America using these products in a partying kind of an environment or in a recreational way?
Well, I think that really right now in this society, in the world, we're living in really hard times, and it's a hard time to be alive. A lot of things are happening on the planet. And I think that a lot of us suffer from anxiety and depression and different things. And so really when people are wanting to get high, a lot of times what they're wanting is to self-medicate. And really what is wrong with feeling good and feeling high and feeling happy? I don't think that there's anything wrong with it. And these plants are our birthright. They are here for humans to use. And so I don't think that man has a right to say that we can't put a herb into our body that makes us feel good.
How do you deal with the potential side effects or risks of some of the herbs that you distribute? Because I know that all herbs, even some of the most benign ones, have potential side effects for some people. And you're distributing these to the public, so somebody could come in that's on an antipsychotic medication or have a heart murmur or a liver condition. How do you suss out what is appropriate or not appropriate for them to use, and how do you address the potential risks of some of the things you're distributing?
Yeah, definitely. That's a really good question. And we really believe in harm reduction here and in educating people about what it is that they might put into their body. Although we don't sell things for human consumption because we're not allowed, you know, to have a shop and sell things like this for human consumption. We sell them for ceremonial and magical purposes. And again, everything that we sell is legal here in Canada, so that's great. What people do with the plants and herbs is really, I think, their business. If they choose to ingest something, then we want them to know what the side effects might be. So we make sure that something like Scaledium tortuosum, which is from West Africa, which is a herbal ecstasy, we make sure people know it's contraindicated with pharmaceutical drugs, with antidepressants, things like that. It's very important, I think, to know exactly, know about things before you put them into your body.
So you and your staff are really careful about disseminating that kind of information?
We are, yeah, and we make sure to give information out with everything that we sell, too.
That's great. Thank you very much.
Thank you
for having me.
Thanks so much for coming in.